Welcome to the newest installment of the Swordcast Adventures Plays Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Before we get started, I just had one announcement that I wanted to make. If anybody has been paying attention to any of the Swordcast stuff lately, we just came out with our Act 1, Season 1 finale this past Monday. Yeah. So if you haven't caught that, be sure to check it out. It's a fucking crazy episode. There's a lot of shit going on. And it, as I said, it's the season finale. So it's got a lot of shit going that sets the pace for what we're going to be doing in the future. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Also, that means we're on a 2-month break, which gives you guys the perfect amount of time to catch up on everything that we've been doing. Also, we're going to be releasing, in the meantime, while we're not releasing episodes, we're going to be releasing a little bit of a preview for the Tomb of Annihilation game that Matt and Roz here are running.
Yeah!
Well, he's running. I'm playing it.
Yep.
You guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
It is a sandbox
Ooh.
of a jungle. It is Tomb of Annihilation, the module from Wizards of the Coast. Pretty much.
And it is just a act of fucking silliness, being that...
I mean, it's a trek through a jungle and the things that might happen along the way.
My character doesn't understand society at all.
It's true, he plays a lizard folk.
It's
he
great.
Doesn't know jack shit about the world. It's pretty entertaining. My wife is on it. She plays a rogue named Jade, and you can also hear Eli, who is Grimtuck from the Swordcast, and Jess, who is Rain from the Swordcast.
Who will also be here
momentarily.
Once the wee babe is put to rest.
Sounds terrible.
Wee babe.
Like that.
Laid to rest.
His nightly nip of whiskey.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
This coming from the guy who was like, oh, I'll just kill children in my game nonchalantly.
Left and right. No heart.
It's not real life. It's role playing.
Yeah.
We're just talking about
Fantasies.
Child death happens.
Yeah.
It's true.
Alright, so...
Me. And shout out to any of my Natural One crew members that are watching, because they were last week, and if you're watching this
Shout
week,
out.
yeah, you're great. I love you.
Yeet.
Which should be starting here next month?
Couple months.
We're
We're still working on it. We'll get there. And
which I'm very excited to watch. I've heard
Oh,
so much about this campaign that's being built up, and it sounds like a lot of fucking fun, and I can't wait to see it actually take hold.
Yeah. Yes.
Unless anybody else has anything else to
No.
say? Alright, well I think we can get into this episode. I'm going to start it off a little bit differently though, because I kind of like the way that we did things last time, where we had like the kind of character introductions. I'm also going to be stealing a page from one of my DMs on one of the streams that I am a part of, called the Wojak Academy on Dungeons & Dragons. I would like everybody to roll a d20.
Oh
are we adding anything to it? I don't know
Straight
this.
rolls.
Woo! 3.
Me too.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got 2 3s.
7.
7.
Oh, great,
God.
guys.
The Ocho.
The Ocho! Oh man, very low rolls. But you
Should
guys are
we
going to
roll
roll
for
again.
Jess?
Nope, the 2 3s are going to roll again.
Oh, is this low roll?
18!
I think I know what this is.
6.
6. Alright, Roz, take away the recap.
Yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
Yup.
as of last time, I came in a little late, and Mavram and the crew had gone to the bathhouse to enjoy themselves, which led to a lot of talking and discussing what to come next, but also led to a lot of oh wow, just yeah,
Talking.
yeah,
Pillow talking.
pillow talking, a lot of fun time between pairs,
Fucking.
a lot of fucking.
There was
yeah,
a lot of fucking
there was.
last episode.
And
a
it-
surprising amount of fucking.
Surprising amount. We all got something wet, including in the bathhouse.
Including ourselves.
Yeah.
We were in the bathhouse.
We were. Then, after all is said and done, we traveled back, Sarmea and Zin to make it back first, allowing all the rest of the crew to find them wonderfully splayed out upon the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Then we continue to have our fun in the bar that we have, leading to that night where the ghost that we have what name of the ghost?
Leaf.
Leaf The Ghost
Oh,
of Leaf
yeah.
decided to not enjoy our company once again and made their presence known.
By being confusing as hell.
By being super confusing, including once a lot of conversation was having, Zin tried to talk to it. I know Savian tried to talk to it, and finally we noticed it kind of run off, which was followed by Zin up to the tower high above
The turret.
to find that that's seemingly maybe where it's staying. We're unaware. Other than that, though, we are now in the process of figuring out what to do, and we have just about all gone back to sleep.
Just about.
As far as I remember, yeah, that's where we left off.
Yep.
Everybody slowly took their time, making their way back upstairs to their respective rooms, and that's kind of where we left it. And now at this point, I am informed that Stavian would like to do something before the night closes out, so that's where we're going to pick up. Stavian, what would you like to do?
Murder the rest of the party.
I knew it! Had a character in my back pocket just for this instance.
Another one?
And just in case.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. I trying to see what I put into the bag of holding over the time that I think it was just an ale. I'm gonna turn out the bag of holding and dump everything out of it
Okay.
because
In your room, I assume?
yes, all by my lonesome. Yep, I reach in and
And you pull it inside out,
yep.
and everything that's in that bag just spews forth onto the floor into this small pile right there in front of you, and where I imagine you'd be probably sitting on your bed or your desk, and it
probably,
just
yeah.
makes this small mound in the middle of your bedroom floor.
I don't think I had very much in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, just this
So,
small pile that
yeah.
kind of hits the middle of your floor.
Is there anything that that I didn't put in there come out of there?
That you didn't put in,
Yeah.
you notice, I'd say probably about 20 dragons, maybe 15 shards, and about 7 or 8 copper hit the floor.
Wow.
Other than that, everything else you remember putting inside of it.
Oh, damn it.
It's more money than I have right now.
So odd, more money than I do too.
Yeah.
20 dragons. How many shards?
It's okay, baby. We got
15
love.
shards,
You
and
got
about
riches.
7 copper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 7 nibs.
Yep. Alright. Alright, I take note of this money and count it out. Sort of feel a little bummed that nothing else was inside of it, but hey, it's what you get, it's what you get. I think after that I will probably just go to sleep
Okay.
as everyone else was.
Yeah, so you turn in.
On the pile of stuff.
No.
Yeah. He just kind of like covers
Curl
up
up like
by
a
his
cat,
head,
yeah.
like lays on top of it, just like stretches out the coins.
That's a different character.
Yeah, Anduin's not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, so if that's all that you wanted to do, then you all proceed through the night. You notice that after your interactions with the spirit supposedly called Leaf, your evening passes pretty unobtrusive. You ended up having a pretty restful night's sleep through the rest of the night. You had been waking up about halfway through your rest, but your evening continues unabated. So we turn up the next morning. Does anybody specifically wake up early?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
We considered long rested, yeah?
yes.
No.
Whoa!
Oh, no, I just sleep in. I always do.
Okay.
That's just a me
Saving
thing.
gets up.
I was gonna say, but with the encounter that you
really-
guys had last evening, after you guys had gone to sleep, you guys maybe spent about an hour, so it really didn't take away too much time for you guys' long rest. If anything, you guys are now waking up maybe about 10 or 11 instead of 8 or 9.
Word.
That kind of deal. So yeah, you guys wake up in the morning. You feel a little bit of sunlight coming through your windows, but you notice that it's kind of dampened and a little bit darker with the clouded skies above you as we are getting into the winter season. And you guys wake up with the morning ahead of you.
So I am laying next to Zin, and I don't know what her plan is, if we're just keeping her in bed until she gets here.
I was going to say, you would probably wake up and she'd be kind of like curled up against you, kind of just like not quite snoring, but like that soft breathing that you would get from sleep.
Okay.
That is a little bit heavier than you would like being awake, but not enough to like consider snoring during the evening. It wasn't loud enough to like wake you up throughout the night or anything like
Dragonborns don't have some crazy ass snoring.
that. Not inherently, no.
Puffs of whatever your
Right?
breath is.
And as you see her sleeping, you see little sparks like shoot out of her snout every now and then.
Or there's like frost on the pillow from like...
It's like frozen drool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sarmay is going to attempt to get out of bed without disturbing Zin.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
14.
I'd say you're able to do it well enough, especially that now that you've slept in this room a couple nights, you've gotten used to the bed that you're sleeping in, so you're able to just kind of take her arm and just kind of like slough it off your shoulder as you roll out of the bed, and you're able to stand up and get dressed without her noticing.
And then I will go downstairs and attempt to leave with that, but I don't know if I'll encounter anyone, so I can leave it there.
Okay.
I also get up early.
Alright.
Did
So I'd say it's probably about, if you guys are waking up at the same time, I'd say it's probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. With the late evening that you guys had.
Got it. What time is the cleric from the temple coming?
You don't know.
Awesome.
From what the acolyte, or who you could assume is somebody in that position, told you, they said they would try to get somebody here the next day. They didn't give you a time.
It's like waiting for the cable guy. That's the worst. Well,
Here's sometime between 10 a.m. and the next day.
And then they don't come, and you're like...
I don't want to leave. I want to start greasing the palms of bureaucracy. But I can't leave until this cleric shows up. But I will go to Tally, and I'd like to ask if he's open. I would like to enter. That's what I'll say.
I would say that as you wake up and head downstairs to like kind of like get ready for your day, you notice Sarmaya coming out of her room at about the same time, doing the same thing. She doesn't. I mean, I don't really know what she's planning. Do you have something intentional that you're doing?
I do, but if I'm running into Savian while I'm in the main room downstairs...
I would actually say because you guys are on the same floor, you kind of almost come out of your rooms at the same time.
Okay. Sarmaya will just maybe nod at Savian and then head downstairs.
Sabian will follow her.
Yeah.
We'll nod back and follow her down.
Yeah, so the two of you end up heading downstairs and end up in the tap room. And as you get down there, you notice it's just the two of you. You see a little bit of the debris that's kind of spread across the bar from the evening before. You still see the kind of almost dry but not all the way there stains from the liquid that was poured over the floor from the evening before. And you guys are now in the tap room.
Morning, Savian. What are you doing?
Morning. Oh, I'm just trying to get this business started.
Word.
Did you enjoy yourself last night?
Yeah.
That's good. Can we get down to business?
Did you without sex? Because you don't have it.
Yep, I don't have sex.
Yeah.
You got it. Nailed it.
I'm
Got it,
gonna go visit my
Good
sister.
guess.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah, which sister?
The Spira.
Is that the one that works in the magic shop?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, when are you going to be back?
2 hours tops.
Alright. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, me too. And Sarmaya heads out. That's not where I'm going though, but...
Okay. Alright, so Sarmaya
Fairly
leaves.
far for the course. So.
So you guys bid each other farewell, and Sarmea walks out the front door of the tavern.
I guess I should have given you a chance to roll insight, but
Well, since you asked,
I was gonna say, if that's something you want to do,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome.
I'll give it a shot. Ooh. Roller coaster ride. 9.
Roll deception.
23.
Oh.
Wow.
Decepticon.
Seems like she's going to
Yeah.
see her sister.
It
doesn't it?
absolutely does.
All right.
All right, so you see Sarmea walk out the front door. What would you like to do?
Throw a knife at her. No.
Right in
Again,
the
with
back of the head.
again, the
My
party
gosh,
murder.
can't help it.
I just want to murder all my party members.
And then have sex with them.
No.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait, no.
Whoa!
Wrong order.
There you go.
I mean, yes, but also.
Don't speak for his character.
You don't know my taste. Yeah, I let her just. I don't really care what she's doing, to be honest. So I just let her go, and
Cool.
I sort of like start cleaning up, and like open or like curtains if there are any in front of the windows. Sort of like let some what little light there is in.
You notice that there is at least a little bit of light coming through, at least through the window that's been broken out by Maven's
Right,
firebolt.
Why are you still here?
So, so there's kind of a curtain that's like a little bit flapping, that's letting a little bit of light through.
Are
But
the
yeah,
other
you can go
windows
through
so
the.
like dirt? Are they like so dirty that light is not coming through? Or
They're not quite that dirty.
Okay.
They're dirty enough to where it kind of like dims it.
Got
But you are definitely able to like go through and at least like move a couple curtains aside, maybe brush some dust off the window panes to where you got enough of a decent amount of natural light coming in that you can see what's going on in the room.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose I will just keep cleaning until other people get up or the cleric shows up.
Okay.
But if I see like someone who looks like a religious figure from the Temple of the Silladrine, like walking up outside, if I spot them, I would like to meet them outside if possible.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I was gonna go to Tally. I'm gonna go to Tally first.
You're gonna go to Tally first.
Well, I'll clean up a little bit and then go to Tally and then come
I was gonna say while you're cleaning up a little bit, at least I'd assume you probably like pick up some of the broken bottles that were made from the evening before.
Yeah.
Maybe wipe up some of the liquid off the floor. While you're doing that, I would assume everybody else wakes up. Whether they come downstairs or not is up to them. So, what would you guys like to do?
I'll get out of bed and
The same bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not there.
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, totally.
You're not there, horn dog.
Other horn dogs. But yeah, I'll get up and kind of be flirty with Mavram in the morning, but like get dressed and kind of start my morning routine. Go pee, that kind of stuff. And I'll just head downstairs, and I don't know if Savian's still around.
Yeah, I would say you probably come downstairs and you see Savian like probably sweeping up like some shards of glass and like setting them aside, and you notice that the wet spots from the night before where you'd seen the whatever pouring out some sort of liquid from a bottle has kind of been wiped up at this point. You see kind of like a still like faint wet spot on the floor, but it's not like there's just liquid sitting on top of it. You can tell it's been wiped up. And yeah, you see Savian kind of like sweeping that stuff up and
Just
gathering it all.
come in a second. Well, that really happened, didn't it, huh?
It certainly did.
That,
In more ways than one.
we got, but like,
I don't say that.
well, you gotta be clear. So we have a ghost in this place.
Yeah.
Look up and around.
Hopefully, but hopefully not for much longer.
Yeah. So did I? Do you have a plan? Yeah. I don't remember. But did you have a plan?
Yeah. I have a plan.
Okay. Do you need help?
I mean, I would like to go talk to Sally to get his contacts and deals, but I'm waiting for the cleric from the Temple of the Silladrine to arrive. Could you
Okay.
perhaps hang out here in case they show up while I'm gone?
Yeah, sure. Is there anything I should know about the holy man or woman or
I don't know who's going to show
person?
up. They are a member of the clergy of the Elvish Pantheon. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think you're going to have a lot
sure.
to talk about in common, but
probably not. But yeah, I mean, I'll hang out. I'm just gonna, I don't know,
clean up.
clean up, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I think we should really concentrate on getting this place open.
Yeah,
So we can move on
I'm
to
into
other
that.
things.
Hey, cheers, man. So as far as like, I figured I would do some cooking for this whole establishment, but I need some supplies. So at some point that we should do that. Also,
Definitely we should do that.
Also, I'm hungry. So we should at least get some stuff in the meantime if we don't get a big supply.
Let's see what we can do about that.
At that point, I think Abram kind of like walks down with his robe kind of tied around his waist, and just like.
You see him walk down and like his skinny, like just white, like sparkly skin glory. Tone. You can be skinny in tone.
That's true.
I'll
Cross-country runner, I believe, last time.
Yes.
smile. I'll smile seductively at you when you walk in.
What does that look like?
Doing with the camera. Yeah! That's what gets my jollies going.
Jollies are gone.
So many dollars.
Sorry, what? Morning. What are we doing today?
We were trying to open a bar.
Tavern. That was the plan. What?
We were trying to talk. You're probably going to have to go talk to some guilds.
Oh.
But first we're kicking a ghost out of here.
Good plan. He does seem to not really like us.
Yeah, I don't think he's willing to barter.
I don't really know what it goes for.
I don't either. But it's bad for business. As some would say.
Do ghosts eat?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I guess that out. Maybe they got food for
What? What would you love?
So there's no food here.
Do they like? Yeah. Huh. Do they like eat magic or something?
That would be a question better left for Zin maybe, or this clergy person who's coming.
Right. Yeah, I'll ask the holy man.
At that point, I think he gets down to the actual down the floor off the stairs, feels the traffic wind, and like fixes his robes up. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Just kind of looks at me like,
Never been in a locker room before? No.
The locker room.
fair point. And actually, at that point, he kind of walks around and fireballs throws a few pieces. If there's any refuse left over.
Yeah, so you just kind of like walk around and like
Yeah.
throw a quick firebolt into the hearth, and the hearth springs to life as there's plenty of remnants left in there that are still able to catch fire.
You just see, just put his hand.
And you just kind of hang out around it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Your jeweled necklace do stuff when you cast spells.
It does. Not the cantrips. Those just kind of.
Alright.
But he kind of goes, well, so from food is good, food is necessary. What about then what are we doing afterwards? When are we going to other places?
Well, hopefully this clergy will show up soon, but I don't know. They didn't say when. So, unfortunately, some of us will have to stay here until they appear.
I'll do that. That's fine.
You did want
I was out all day yesterday.
people or help you.
Yes. But I was planning on just staying in the neighborhood for the time being. I'm going to go speak with Tally about his contacts with the guilds, and then I will return. Hopefully the clergy person will show up soon. The cleric or what have you. So I don't even know
So you head out the front door and you walk around the block. As I said, just around the block. The tallies, not tallies.
It's a whole nother establishment.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
You approach the shop. It's
Global intelligence.
it's a little bit darker than you've been used to because you've been later there like later in the afternoon. But you do see that it is still open for business. It is now probably about 10:30 in the morning. But yeah, you see that there is some life inside. So you're able to walk in, and as you walk in, the doorbell kind of rings as you enter, and you see that familiar face of Talia just kind of like pop up behind like a stack of bookcases that he's been like arranging.
Tally, my good man. Just hoping you could give me some information.
Ah, yes. What can I do for you this morning?
Oh, the guilds. We discussed it last night. You know people in the guilds? People I should talk to, get things going? On
Yes,
the
that
whole
is true. I actually did send word to a colleague of mine last evening. From the Carpenters, Roofers, and Plasterers Guild. I haven't heard back from them, but I should expect to hear word hopefully soon.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
I'm hoping by the end of the day, but if not, I would hope by the end of tomorrow at the latest.
excellent. Well, should I wait for them, or is there information that you can pass on that I could get the ball rolling in other departments myself?
If you had information you wanted me to tell them specifically, I could definitely pass that along, but until I hear back from them, I don't really know what their schedule is like.
Got it. I think we will just, go with your plan.
Okay.
I didn't realize you would make contact so soon.
Yes, especially with the issue I saw in your basement area. I felt that it was something that warranted a bit more of immediate attention.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Of course. As I said, I've been a member of that guild for quite some time, and issues like that can't go unnoticed for long, or they become troublesome.
I agree. It's been neglected for so long already, so we're, I think, a bit beyond troublesome at this point, to be honest.
Agreed, which is why I felt it necessary to send out word as soon as possible.
Agreed. I'm not. Well, if there is nothing but waiting to be done, then I guess I will let you get back to your work.
Is there anything else I can do for you, my friends? I know you are still in need of more furnishings. Is there anything you would like to pack in today, or should we just wait until you get repairs done?
Yes, no one's spoken of anything specifically, except for maybe Brago, who was going to be our cook. You have, you said countertops would be more of the under the guild's sort of purview.
Yes, I am accustomed to the work, but as I said, I'm afraid that my physical state doesn't allow me to do such heavy lifting as it used to. So, hence another reason why I put in word to the guild. They have a bit of some younger lads that would be able to be more helpful in that kind of situation.
Excellent. Then I don't think I have anything else. I guess I had one question.
Yes, of course. What can I do for you?
I get the impression the owners of Steam and Steel don't sort of rub you the wrong way. I'm curious why.
You see his entire demeanor change, and you see that he's like, even though he's been like walking on a cane the entire time you guys have known him, you see his shoulders kind of slump a little bit, and his neck kind of like sinks into his shoulders a little bit, and he says, "Well, what do you mean by it?"
Can I insight check this whole change?
Absolutely. Non-natural 20. So at that point, as Sabian rolls a non-natural 20, let's catch up Zen on what
Yes,
she
please.
missed. It wasn't a whole lot, but
Sarmea stealthed out of my bedroom with you and me.
she did.
And left. Ran into Sabian and then left the room. Left the banner.
Sorry, what was that? What happened?
Sarmea stealthed out of our bed and left.
She kind of like shrugged your arm off of her and just kind of rolled out of bed with just enough of a stealth check to do it
Right.
without you noticing.
Cool.
Yep, and left the house. Ran into Sabian, deceived my way out of it.
And then Sabian was downstairs cleaning up a little bit. Drago came downstairs, found him down there. Sabian decided to take off and head to Beth Hill.
Alright, cool. So
And
I'm pretty much still asleep, probably.
you are still asleep
Right, okay, cool.
in
Excellent.
Sarmea's room.
Excellent.
And Sabian just asked Tally about the Benton or the Steven Steel.
Cool.
No one has any knowledge of it.
Yeah.
That's what I asked.
So with the non-natural 20 on your insight roll, you notice that he gets visibly uncomfortable. You're not sure what it is, but you do see that his demeanor completely changes. He hasn't said anything about whether he feels ill will towards them or anything like that. As far as your guys' conversation has gone, but you see that he is now in a completely different world of emotions than he was when you walked in less than 2 minutes ago.
I'll just wait for him to speak, and then if he doesn't, I'll speak to him after like a minute or two.
He says, "What do you mean?"
What do I mean? I mean,
You said you seem like there's something.
yeah, it looked, you were just. Yes, I can tell that something bothers them. Something about them bothers you. Even now, when I just mentioned it, I can see your reaction. Good at reading people, Ollie.
It's very personal.
Had something against the genie folk?
No, not against the people. No.
Did the owners of Steven Steel run a friend of yours out of business?
Nothing like that. It comes on a much more deep-seated personal level.
Is it because they are lovers?
No.
Can I check
It's-
that reaction? Because that seems a bit abrupt and extreme in the opposite way. 16.
With that roll, you can tell that there's part of you believes him, but there's another part of you that, with that immediate reaction, doesn't sit exactly right.
Look, Tally, you don't have to lie to me. It's not going to change our business arrangements, but clearly something about their relationship is bothering you. Are you jealous?
That's part of it, yes. It's not that they're together. That's not what bothers me. He looks at you and he looks you up and down. You know, as he kind of gestures to himself, that we live out many other races. Sometimes it's not fair. My jealousy springs from the fact that they are so happy.
Did you once love another in the past?
They passed a long time ago.
Who was it?
At one point she was my wife. But she was human. We both met when we were very young. But the way life works, she was gone long before I was ready to accept that that was a possibility.
Just one gives us many gifts, but sometimes it can be a curse. I can understand that.
Sorry, what race is Tally? Half elf.
Together we're one elf and one. Fusion dance, and then we become one elf and one man.
That's definitely how it works.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Palladium.
I guess.
She was the most beautiful being I've ever realized. We were happy for so many years. And she got sick. And there was nothing I could do to stop it. And now she's gone. She's been gone for so long that I don't know if I'll ever be right again. And seeing them just right across the way being so happy and perfect for each other. Sometimes I just can't take it.
Jealousy is a powerful
Force.
I can relate to that on some levels.
Jealousy is part of it, yes.
Love lost I've not known, but listening.
Coping is another thing.
That's understandable. But, you know, have you tried meeting someone new? Perhaps a little bit of, what's the word, resolution is needed to help you move on.
For a while I thought I could. And then every time I tried, I just felt sick. Like it wasn't right.
Well, thank you for sharing this with me first off, Hallie. It means a lot. Secondly, I understand where you're coming from, but you can't live your life just by looking at what other people are doing and longing for what you have lost or not making motions to move forward.
I know that is why I buried myself in what I am doing.
That's fair. And
I know it may not be the right way to go about it, but that's what I've known, and that's what's kept me here all these years.
well, if there's anything I can do to help or any of my friends, just let us know. As I said, love lost is not something I've known, but I'm sure I will. And just looking out for a fellow half elf.
Thank you.
So like a half
I don't know
like
that it's-
pounded equivalent.
Yeah.
Much.
Robots.
I don't know what much can solve a scar such as you said, a love lost, but at any point I feel there is anything that I could use assistance with, and I feel you are capable. I appreciate you letting me know.
Definitely. Would something like speaking with her provide any solace for you?
What do you mean?
I don't know. There are powerful magic users about. Some might be able to speak with the dead. If that would be too much pain, I don't know. It's just something I thought of.
You see him kind of like close his eyes real tight and like bow his head over.
Oh,
No. Oops. We made our peace before she left. That doesn't make it any easier. Just don't know how to move on. I've secluded myself in a shop and just.
well, I don't think seclusion is the answer, to be honest.
And I know it's not. You're not the first one to tell me.
Thanks. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. If I feel a hankering for something, or something I feel you can help me, I will let you know.
Thank you. I won't trouble you. I won't trouble you anymore with this line of questioning. Obviously, it's painful, so just let me know if we can help.
I will. Thank you. You've only been here a matter of a few days, but I've somehow had an impact on this small street.
Hopefully, we can make a bigger impact in the future.
He just kind of like gives you a wry smile and nods.
Plenty of coin for all of us to go around here in Troll Skull Alley Tally.
Coin would be good. It's at least a start.
Alright, I'll just speak with you soon. Or, I suppose, if you hear from your friend, you could just come over to the tavern if you feel so
Yes, of
inclined.
course. If I hear any word from them, and they don't intend on seeing you directly, I will let you know what I've heard.
Sounds good. Thank you. I go back to the tavern.
Alright, Sarmaya, where are you going?
I am going to the Temple of the Seldarine.
Alright.
And I'm gonna forever call Tally Troll Skull Alley Tally.
Yep.
The rest of time.
Yep, I was really glad that I actually said that without fucking
Yeah. Pat
Troll
yourself
Skull
on the
Alley
back.
Tally.
There's a rap in here somewhere.
I frequently switch the first letters of two words together, so that's why in our house corn dogs are called dorn cogs.
It's called dyslexia.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
Hey, I've never been diagnosed with that.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you don't have it.
Anyways, so you're going to the Temple of the Seldarine.
It's in the castle ward. How long does it
That
take me
is.
to walk there?
I would say walking, it's going to take you, from where you guys are at, probably about an hour
I'm
and a
gonna
half.
try to not make it take as long. I'm gonna try to hail some kind of.
I would say
vehicle.
with your previous experience with the city, being here, that you've lived here all your life, I'd say it'd take you an hour tops.
Okay, I still want to try to get some kind of vehicle to make it faster.
Okay.
If I could try to get a.
I would say your hire coach is your best bet. Which is going to cost you about
That's the
10
most
gold.
expensive one. I'll do it.
Alright.
Try to hire a coach.
So you walk
Hire.
a couple blocks, and especially being in the North Ward, it doesn't take you long because that's definitely where they are more prominent, as those people that can afford to pay for that kind of stuff. But you're able to get a hire coach for 10 gold.
Alright, I pay exact change, nothing more.
Okay.
Which gets you to the Temple of the Seldarine in about 20 minutes, I'd say.
Fuck your tubes. And then I'm gonna walk
Fucking
in.
tieflings.
Young, naive, probably kind of a piece of shit tiefling. But anyways.
I
I
wasn't gonna say it.
I don't murder people.
Steps in
Might be impulsive. So, going inside this temple, looking for... So, I just wanted a quick recap. When we went here, was it all of us?
Yes.
So, I'm going to look for the person that we talked to.
It was everybody but Brago.
Okay, so I'm going to look for the person we talked to when we originally came.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you walk in and you see the same kind of... As you walk in, you see the same kind of scene. You see these large, like, beautifully carved, like, marble steps with these, like, pillars that surround the building that just have this beautiful, like wooden, almost, like, leafy filigree that kind of, like, spirals up all the pillars. And as you walk in, you see this long corridor that kind of goes towards the center of the building that arches up in this large dome. And you see that, as you start to get to the center, you see that moving forward across this large, like, promenade area in the middle, it leads to another large hall going straight, but then you notice that there are a number of other halls that split off, forming 8 different hallways throughout this place. And as you walk in, it's big. It's real big.
Real big.
And as you walk in, you roll a perception check.
It's going to be a 19 plus 120.
Plus 120?
Plus 1 for a 20.
Yeah. So you walk in and you kind of like come to a stop where this promenade just kind of opens up, and you look around and you don't see the person that you guys saw the day before.
Do I see a person that looks like they work here?
I mean, you see plenty of people that, whether they work here or not, you're not sure, but you see all sorts of people like walking throughout.
Alright, I'm just gonna yell, "Hey! Does anyone work here?"
And you see multiple people kind of like stop in their tracks and just kind of like turn and look at you. And you notice that all the people that turn and look at you are kind of clad in these very simple, like, sky blue robes that have this silver trim upon them. And you just see them all kind of like stop and look at you. None of them say anything, but you notice a couple of them look at you.
You're all similarly dressed. Where do I go to talk to someone that's in charge?
And you see this kind of for an elven person. They look very young, and you see one of them start to approach you, and he says, "Yes, I am an acolyte of this temple. What can I do for you?"
Y'all are supposed to do like an exorcism type thing today. Are you aware of this? Yeah, I need to stop it.
Oh,
Fucking end you.
is that
Truce
so?
off.
Yes, and
in a
Sarmay's gonna
murderous
pull
sort of
2
way.
dragons out of her pocket and hold it out.
Explain to me a bit more about your situation. I'm afraid I have not heard of it.
The ghost left, so we don't need it anymore.
Ghosts?
I don't know, something
ghosts?
that's like knocking over things, but they left. It's cool.
Hold on. Start from the beginning. Why are you here? You need something.
I need it called off. We don't need it anymore, and I don't want anyone to waste their time. Like, it's so much, like, coming up. I mean, it cost me 10 gold to get here to warn you. I don't want you to come up and waste your money, and it's just not necessary. I'm part of the original party that was here.
So you already spoke to someone about this?
Yes, I just need to call it off now. I don't want anyone to
Who
waste
did
their
you
time.
speak to?
You know, did we get a name? I don't have one right
You
now.
didn't get shit.
I really don't remember the name. I don't remember the name. And she's still holding out 2 dragons in her hand.
Do you, well, if there's any information you can give me about your proposition, then maybe I can go talk to somebody and see if they know what you're talking about.
We're at Troll Skull Manor. I just need to call off the cleric coming.
Well, You see him reach out. I will gladly accept your donation to the temple. I will...
That's not a guarantee of services rendered, I
Yeah.
think.
I will try to... Is that all the information you have?
I know we came in, we said we had, some kind of spirit disturbing our place. Our spirit has since left. We are just not concerned anymore, and I just don't want anyone to waste their time. No payment was rendered yet. We were waiting until the cleric came, and I can give you the address.
Yes, please. The address and as many details about your situation as you could possibly give me.
We'll give the address, whatever that is.
Yeah, so you give him the address, and then what else do you tell him?
We were a party of 4 that came in, and we just discussed with some kind of cleric about having an issue, but it's just really not an issue anymore.
Okay. Find a seat, and he kind of like gestures to some seats that kind of line the promenade. I will come back and find you. I guess just give me a little bit of time. I'll go try to talk to some people and see if they know what you're talking about, because I don't. But I will be back shortly.
With that, Sir May will pull out 2 more dragons into her hand and make sure he sees them, but sit back with them in her hand, waiting.
He doesn't even acknowledge it, and you see him turn around and he walks off, and you see him kind of like start to move through the promenade, but then take a left and head down one of the, not the first hallway, but the second hallway to the left.
One of the 8. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'd say he's gone for probably about almost half an hour.
Ooh.
And in that half an hour, you actually see him come back out of that hallway and move across the promenade and into another hallway. And then probably about 10 minutes later, he comes out of that one and then heads down another hallway. And then probably about 15 minutes after that, he ends up coming back and he says, I did find somebody that was planning on heading that way today. It wasn't going to happen until later because he's got a few meetings, but...
Oh, perfect. I'm in time. I just don't want him to waste his time.
Okay, it sounds serious.
You were cut
You
off.
have
I'm
a
never
s-
telling you shit again. A, fuck you.
How are you ever
B,
How are you
fuck
ever
you.
A.
C, fuck you.
A, how are you ever gonna know I did this? C,
Well, when someone doesn't show up, I'm gonna fucking know.
will you?
Truce off.
Daggers.
Anyways.
Well, as I said, somebody
I'll
was
track you down
supposed
to
to...
my boss.
Somebody was planning on going there this evening. You sure you don't need them? You said you
Uh,
needed an exorcism, is what they said. That sounds...
It was over dramatic.
serious.
It was really over dramatic. It was some leaky, some drafty windows. Practically.
Are you sure you don't want us to come by and take a look?
Yeah, and she'll take that 2 dragons that she had in her hand and put them out. Thank you so much for your trouble, though. I just can't tell you how much we appreciate you. Everything you do for the city and taking care of this beautiful temple.
Come on, buddy. Help me
Why
out
is
here.
somebody like you calling this off? Why did you come ask for us? Why is somebody like you coming to the temple of Seldarine to ask for help?
Somebody like me?
Yes, tiefling. Ooh. It's a hard Why is somebody with demon blood, devil blood, coming to ask for help from the Seldarine?
Yeah, Tiefling.
In one of my
Why
games,
don't
you
you tell
do
us?
evens or odds for like, hey, should I react how I think my character should, or should we keep it cool? And like, someone like you. Oh. Well,
That stunk so bad you hellish rebuked him.
I dare you.
Oh, vicious mockery. The hellish rebuke in a temple. Yeah, that's gonna go well.
we don't need you. Don't come. Mm-hmm. Sarmea leaves.
As you walk out, you see them standing in their exact spot where you left them, just watching you the entire time as you leave.
I glare at them as I walk out. Someone like me.
D&D racism.
On top of that, with tieflings being arrogant as shit, it's like, I can't really, how passive can I be about it?
It's your character.
Yeah, that's that. So,
Alright, so you leave and then what do? You head back? Or...
I'm gonna grab a drink on the way back. But yes, I'm heading back.
Okay.
Whatever the closest bar is, I'm just gonna walk in and have a drink and then go back.
Okay. That's fair. What are you drinking?
Cheapest thing I got.
I'd say you spend 2 copper.
Okay.
2 nibs.
Yep.
Alright, so as that's happening, we go back to the tavern. I'd say probably Savian comes back. Braga, what would you have done while Savian was over at Tally's?
House things. Cleaning and
Mayroom,
getting it ready and
I wipe the windows.
So you lit the fire,
Yeah.
and then did you just hang out for a minute, or...
Yeah, I think I stayed down with Braga, just down
Yeah.
there. But I'll probably, like, once I see him start, like, moving and starting to clean stuff, probably go, I think the windows first, start wiping them off with some cloth. Maybe clean up any mess on the ground, like picking up any tossed over.
Alright, I'd say probably about... Maybe probably right before Savian comes back, I'd say Zen, you probably wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Well, when I wake up and I realize Sarmea is not there anymore, I'd probably just, like, leave her room and head up to mine first, just to, like, freshen up, get my armor on, like, all that, ready myself for the day. And then I'd probably, like, wander downstairs, kind of half looking for her, see if she's around. But if not, just see who is home right now.
what's a dragonborn beauty routine like? Do you lotion your scales or
No.
do you like
Buff
buff them
Yeah,
out?
buff them. Yeah,
Get a
totally.
little
Yeah.
brush that you just
I
like
wax them.
A dry brush.
Turtle wax.
It's got one of those
Turtle wax.
waxers with the giant rotating, like...
Yeah.
just like-
you just
It's
like
D&D,
turn it
sort
on
of
yourself and
hand
you're just like
Exactly.
Originally was a grinder. You removed that and added something a little soft for like
Yeah.
polish. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So yeah.
So I'd say Zen, you probably walk downstairs and you see Mavram and Brago kind of like cleaning stuff up. You see a fire going in the hearth. You see them probably picking up a couple scraps of like boxes or whatever that's broken up, throwing them into the fire, and then fucking Sabian walks through the front door.
Morning.
How
So
you,
all
how
of
you
you are
look?
now in the tap room.
How do I look?
You matter of fact, or you?
I don't know. I think he's kind of like quietly jazzed about,
Cool.
the things coming along. Eager to get the things off on the proper footing.
So walk back to the
Good.
door.
Oh,
I was going to say, how'd that go?
Pretty well. He has already contacted someone in one of the guilds. Which one did he say?
The Carpenters, Roofers, and Placerers Guild.
Placers is the last one?
Placerers.
Okay. Carpenters Guild. The Carpenters Guild. Basically.
Essentially, yeah.
Roofers. Stuff like that.
The Woodworkers Guild.
Placers.
Which is good. It might actually take care of what
Blue collar guild.
my mishap.
Oh, you mean the window?
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah.
hey, accidents
like
happen.
Ellis
We were trying to. You were
Oh,
trying to
all
attack
blue
an
collar.
invisible thing. Who could blame you,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Hey, I was a little worried.
It's starting to look pretty good in here. I hope that this exorcism is successful.
Yes, absolutely. Are you going to be sticking around for a bit? Because I should probably go figure out some kitchen stuff. Which actually reminds me, I wanted to ask everybody, do you have any, like, food requests? Like, do you have any favorite, like, tavern food? Maybe you're into a stew, or, like, some mutton or something, or maybe something more fancy, but I'm not exactly, like, you know, king chef already.
Well, down south they have this thing that's sort of an egg, and it's cooked and it's wrapped in sausage, and they cook it. It's really
egg
good.
wrapped in sausage.
Yeah.
Well, like
It's-
a wrapped
It's
around
tasty.
it.
Yeah, like sort of like a meatball, but it's got an egg inside.
Wow.
It's really rich. It's really good when you've had like a couple ales.
Gotcha.
You
And
want-
what do they call this down south?
They call it the Darkhold egg.
Dark hold, HOLD.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll look into that. I'll get some sausage and some eggs certainly. So.
I mean, I'm pretty, easy to please.
Do you, Margo, do you know how to make bread?
Bread. In theory, I haven't done it, and I think we'd need an oven, but
That's true.
I don't know if we have enough food, have enough coin to make an oven. Some fresh bread would be very tasty, though.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. On top of that, that sounds amazing. But some fresh bread would be amazing. Be really good.
All right. I'll get a bread oven.
I've had, I don't know, my fair share of seafood stews over my dime.
I guess they would have good seafood. We are on the coast.
Yeah.
It should.
You're still out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Some seafood stuff.
It's nothing.
DM, I'm walking back.
Oh, I know. I know where you are.
What about you, Zin? You got any preferences? Any foods you like?
Meat.
Got that.
Can't go wrong. Bacon.
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 Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stuff that keeps for a while. Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah.
Onions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Garlic.
Guess which one of us actually worked in the kitchen? Yeah, well, we go for a few more minutes with reciting down things, and
Dried beans.
I conjured a piece of paper from somewhere.
Yeah, so you guys
I
kind
have
of.
before drink it. I give you this paper and a quill. We make a list.
My
Say
handwriting
you
is
could
terrible.
find some piece of parchment and a quill on the floor
Great,
from
Do it.
Oh, I have to pick it up, yeah.
evenings before instance.
great.
But yeah, so you guys kind of spend a little bit of time just kind of like going over food preparation stuff that you guys are talking about. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do in particular in this next small amount of time? Just kind of chit chat, hang out in the tap room, clean stuff up.
Yeah,
Pretty
clean.
much.
I'd say Zin, after you come down, I'd say it's probably about an hour before the front door swings open and Sarmena returns.
How do you look?
Annoyed, but I've had a drink, so probably.
So as far as you guys can tell, she looks like Sarmena.
yeah.
Hey, it's Samir's
Thanks.
bag.
Thanks.
How went your things?
Good. Luspera is good.
Glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Shop's all going and everything.
So
Yep.
Dungeon Master, do I believe the tiefling, the lying, filthy tiefling?
Hey, already passed this deception check. Is there
It's been
another
like
one?
2 hours.
Yeah, it's been like a couple hours.
Pretty sure I get
Yeah,
another
you
shot.
definitely get another one.
He gets another
Me
one.
too.
Oh yeah. You make a deception check. He's gonna make an insight.
19.
Non-natural 20.
Oh!
You don't quite know what she's hiding or why she would be hiding anything, but you just get like this little tiny like speck of
It's a trap.
of unsuredness.
The soul read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
We all signed the deed, right?
like everybody
everyone,
else thinks
except
fine,
for
and then
Mayfrom.
for some reason
Yeah.
you just get this spark that hits you and is gone almost as fast as it came. That you're like, I don't know about that.
I'm gonna sort of angry child tantrum stomp to a stool and sit down.
I feel like I would notice that.
I mean, anybody in the room? Yeah, I would say you noticed that.
What's
What? Yes.
bothering you?
Oh, you know, the spirit is a bitch. What's new?
Yeah, that makes sense. She did kind of treat you bad when we were there last time.
Roll deception check. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That's a 17. Yes, a +5.
I mean, if anybody's trying to detect you, roll an insight.
17. Beat that.
I would be half paying attention and half thing.
Yeah, if it's not
I'm
something
like-
that you would like actively
I'm-
be trying to
I'm
decipher,
like-
I understand that you
I'm-
would.
I'm-
Sabian,
Hang on.
suspicious Sabian.
Oh, not
Did
so
I-
long, fucked up.
Did I get to see the spear
10.
as
I
Maven,
get-
or was it?
Yes,
Polish?
because it was.
Yep.
Yeah,
True.
because Flawless was only. You guys didn't meet Lispera until after
Yeah.
the sewers.
I definitely saw them
we
have
yet to
like
meet
some
Lispera.
sibling
We
rivalry
have
shit
yet to meet
going
her.
on. So
Yeah, the two of you have yet to meet Lispera.
Oh yeah,
The
we
two of
met
you
her
met
when
her,
we
yeah.
went to go
yeah.
to her house.
Yeah, because you guys were drinking, you guys went and bought pastries, went
Yeah.
to the market, and then went and saw
Had a
Lispera.
wonderful afternoon.
It was a pretty wonderful drunken afternoon.
Didn't have to use my AK. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, when I get like a moment, I'm gonna like walk over to Sabian and be like, she's got like a weird relationship with Lispera. It's like a love-hate sibling thing. I think it's probably what's going on.
Yep. That's totally what's going on.
Sorry you didn't have a good time, sorry.
Are we drinking?
No, we
I
don't
need
have any booze.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
still got that keg,
Almost a
that
full
pony
keg.
keg that we've.
We
half
shouldn't be
drank.
drinking. We have a tavern open. I'm glad everyone got their jollies last night. Can we concentrate on business now?
We did get our jollies, didn't we? Looking at Zen.
Yep.
We were talking about
I like
food.
shrug
I
and
would
nod
really
and smile.
like to find some breakfast.
Yeah, let's do that.
We
But
cannot
somebody
march on their side.
who.
Oh, I agree. I'll stay here and wait for this cleric to show up. But
Let's-
I will contribute some to the food fund.
That's very kind of you.
I can go with you.
Are you
Right.
talking about just for us or trying to stock the kitchen?
I'll tell you.
Just for breakfast. We can
Just-
just,
just-
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's.
okay.
It's
I think
yeah.
it's better to stock the kitchen after the kitchen's usable.
Ooh, you could talk to my mom about recipes. She's a good cook.
We no.
Perhaps, yeah. Well, maybe sometime. Tucker. Yeah. Let's go. Let's just go get some breakfast now. Let's not worry about stocking it. It's probably a bad idea to do that on an empty stomach, anyways.
It's treated by all sorts of unnecessary stuff.
Happens every time.
I'll put 2 gold in Maverick's hand, or the closest one of them to me, and I will just say, well, here's for my share.
2 gold. Eh?
What are we giving money to?
Do you want breakfast?
How much?
Whatever you want. How much do you want? You hungry? Do you eat a lot? I forget. You eat a lot of cheese, right?
We have cheese.
Right.
I
Yeah.
need more than just cheese.
Yeah, and she'll toss in 2 nibs.
All right.
2 nibs.
Here's your slice. of
You
bread.
surprised?
No,
That's
not at all.
I mean, I'll just gather coin from everybody and head out with anybody who wants to come. Abram, yeah, we're gonna walk down, and we're gonna
Yeah.
Braga goes, and no one
Um,
else.
This is mine.
I'm
This
gonna stick
belongs
around
to you.
here, but I throw gold in the pot.
Yeah, go. I'll just go if there's like a bakery or somewhere that's making some stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially you guys being in the northward, it doesn't take you very long to find it, especially because it's just the 2 of you going out.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys go maybe probably 6 or 7 blocks before you find at least a small bakery. They've got some like dried meats, a lot of fresh pastries, stuff like that. You guys are able to find more than enough for you.
I mean,
And at least for the
I've got
morning with the money that's been given.
3
to you.
gold and 2 nibs that's been given to me. I'll
Yeah,
just
exactly.
I'll grab like breakfast and then like a couple like I'll grab like a weekend's worth of stuff. I mean, imagine for 3 gold you can get like
A lot.
a couple loaves of bread,
Yeah,
like
no,
several like long sausages. And
Yeah, you guys grab like a couple different kinds of bread. You get, you definitely get a couple.
sausage party.
You guys get
I
a
think one
couple
of you
different
got
kinds of like
some
dried
sausages
meats.
last night.
You're able to get some like
I
you
should
know
get some
like
clams too for a clam party.
Oh,
like
Some clams and flowers.
fuck. Anyways,
We're making some pie.
so you guys are you're able to get like a couple different kinds of breads. You're able to get like some
Making the same
croissants and
pie
like
at
some
your
different
house.
rolls and like actual loaf bread and stuff like that. You're also able to get like some like summer sausage, like dried and cured sausage and stuff like that. And then you're also able to get like you would get a small amount of like salmon locks, like dried fish,
Ooh, fancy.
like you know
Alright.
things like that. For that kind of money, you're able to get enough for you guys to last almost the next week.
Sweet.
Um,
Sweet.
and I'd say it probably takes you maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, or do that
Great.
and come back.
We come back.
And yeah, and you see Brago kind of like you see him like through the broken window, just kind of walking up with this like pile of stuff in his arms, and Mavram like just kind of throws open the door as Brago walks inside and kind of unloads it all on the.
All right, who's hungry? Who's hungry?
What a gentleman.
On the bar.
Yeah, that is quite the haul, friend.
Well, we needed to eat.
Yeah,
Sarmaya's gonna help herself.
that should last us a while.
That's the plan. This is for us, and now we can stock up for the kitchen at our leisure.
I'm gonna wait till Sarmaya takes about 2 days worth of food. Hey, I think you've had enough. You've got your fair share. He says with air quotes that probably don't exist anymore.
You can create them.
Yeah.
Magic, mage hand quotes.
Man, if I ever got to level 3, I might have it. But good thing someone's actively working against that.
I mean, how much is 2 nibs worth of food?
I don't
Am
know.
I full?
That would be a breakfast, probably.
for the day.
I
Fine.
think you've had enough,
Call me fat.
maybe.
At least my family tree is in a wreath.
She's calling you inbred.
Thank you.
Does your family tree have any leaves? Or is it just a scorched cinder?
All right. You guys, Savy, you should eat some food. Yeah, it's
I just grabbed food out of Sarmay's hand and put it in my mouth.
Elves are inbred, right?
I didn't hear that.
You're
half elf, right? Not full elf?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say she wasn't trying to hide it, so if you guys were in the room, you probably heard it.
Yeah.
Saving just ignored it because it doesn't make any sense. Because he's a half elf.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get some food. He just kind of sits there and like watching this back and forth, just like, eating popcorn.
Alright, yeah. So you guys, Brago like plops this semi-feast onto the bar countertop, and you guys start to dig in. Does anybody do anything specific? You guys just kind of munch down for a minute, or
Yeah.
I'm still looking out the window for this person to show up.
roll a perception check?
You're mean. Do you know that? 21.
All right. So as you sit there and kind of like munch on the fare that Brago brought into the tavern, you kind of like keep making sure that you look back, and especially looking through the broken window, because the window closest to the door. So anybody that would coming in the door, you would be able to see.
Yeah, I actually think I would be like standing this way looking out.
Yeah, fair enough. So you don't actually see anybody, but at one point you do notice a couple puffs of smoke that seem to get closer to the doorway.
But I don't see the person that they're sort of emanating
True.
from. I just wait and see if they pass by or they come up.
And then you hear a slight creak coming from one of the steps up to the door, and you hear
I like vault over the bar and come up to
You
the
do
door.
like a Riker hop over the bar.
Yep, Riker hop the bar, and I like spring to my feet and I get to the door and I just open it up.
and you fling the door open, and you look out, and at first you don't see anybody. And then you notice a puff of smoke just rise up right in front of your face. And you look down, and you see this tiny little person that stands about 3 feet tall, large mutton chops that come down the sides of his face, like to the front of his chin, almost connect, but don't quite do so. And you see he has this large, like, wooden, like, pipe that's hanging from his mouth, and you see him just kind of looking up at you as another puff of smoke just spurts up right near your face. And he says,
gnome or halfling?
Halfling. So it's true. There are people here. And you see him just kind of push aside and, like, walk right in, as if
How is he dressed?
You see, he's kind of, like, finely dressed. You see him wearing this, like, kind of, like, forest green tunic with, like, a white undershirt underneath of it. And then he has these, like, kind of dark brown trousers that with this dark green forest trim that come down. And you see these long white socks that are pulled up almost to the top of to where his trousers meet. So you can't see any of the skin of his legs. And he just kind of, like I said, just kind of, like, pushes right by you and, like, walks in as if he owned the place.
Sabian just lets him in because I think he's sort of like I like the cut of this guy's jib, sort of like this guy just walks in, and I think Sabian kind of like isn't likes that about him, so he just lets him in.
I think for Zin, considering the way he walked in, I'm probably I'm not like purposely like eyeing him, like giving him a look, but I'm like keeping an eye on him. Like I'm just watching him.
So it's true. There are people here.
Indeed. And for reference, we saw all the people who work at the temple, so I can assume that he's not wearing temple garb.
True.
Okay.
Who are you?
Exactly my words.
My name is Roxley. Roxley Fairkettle.
Roxley Fairkettle.
Writing that down.
And what can we do for you?
I come on behalf of the Fellowship of Innkeepers.
Alright.
I heard from a close friend of mine that somebody had recently taken ownership of this building.
That's us.
I
You
would
like
hope
it?
so. If it wasn't you, there would be cause for concern.
That is indeed us. My name is Sabian, and I reach out my hand for a handshake.
And he reaches up and he grasps your hand very tightly and shakes it.
Fair.
So,
Yep.
what is a lot like you, as he kind of looks around, what would a lot like you want to do with a place like this?
What are you saying? A tiefling can do a lot of things.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, you see him just give you this look like, I said nothing about tieflings.
They want to make it a bar, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that so?
The tavern at Troll Skull Manor. Sounds nice, right?
It sounds nice. It used to be something like that.
Well, we sort of,
It hasn't been anything like that for a long time.
well, we aim to recapture some of the glory days, if you will, and open it up again for business. We acquired the deed to this establishment, and
I see, and why would you acquire a deed to such a place like this?
It was free, kinda.
we did a favor for a friend, and this was our reward.
It must have been quite a favor. Or it wasn't, because a friend might have just been wanting to get rid of it, as he kind of like gestures around. It doesn't have a whole lot of worth.
We're aware, but there's, we're willing to put the work in, I think.
I mean, I think the person who got it from his name says no. He doesn't just give stuff out like that. You are talking to Volo,
That's true. This man is close personal friends with Volo.
Many people own many different properties in this town. Some of them sit empty for years. That doesn't mean anything.
What's your interest? mean,
I
you
talked
said
to a
you're
colleague
from
of mine
Guild,
the other day, Kylan Simwahelf. She told me this recently became under new ownership. I thought I'd pay a visit and see what you intended to do with the place.
We intend to turn it into a fine, upstanding neighborhood establishment with some entertainment, maybe a card game or two, and good food and drink for all.
I see.
A nice, safe place for the people of this area to spend some time, get to know their neighbors and whatnot.
You said you're from the guild?
The Innkeepers Guild.
I'm from the Fellowship of Innkeepers.
The Fellowship of Innkeepers. And what does the Fellowship of Innkeepers do?
We oversee the rules and regulations for buildings that set aside rooms for people to rent.
Okay. So,
I do know there are a number of rooms in the upper floors of this building. What do you all plan on doing with them?
well, I'm living
Living
up
in
there.
Living in them. So you don't plan to rent them out for profit?
Oh no.
Well,
No.
maybe one of them. It was considered. We haven't made up our mind. What's that entail? Because
Well-
maybe if we know the rules, it will help us make a decision.
I can't enforce any rules upon you, being you are your own business, but if you were to be a part of the guild, you would become privy to certain obligations,
How much are the
but
guild
also
fees?
multiple benefits.
How much are the guild fees?
They're 10 gold per 10 day.
That's. Do we really want to pay that just to be an inn?
Well, what are the benefits?
The benefits are that you would have any protection from us in case any incident happened in your establishment, and we can also provide cleaning crews to take care of your establishment.
Okay, that's
Good to know.
That's good to know. Yeah.
I'm pretty new in town, so I apologize if this sounds rude. Would someone of a... There's a tavern guild as well.
I don't know of a tavern guild, but there are guilds that deal directly with alcohol sales and things of such.
I would like to see if he's lying about the not knowing about tavern guilds.
Go for it.
Good call.
Would they as well offer such help?
Man. 13.
13. With that, you can tell that he seems to be telling the truth. From what he has said to you so far, he's speaking specifically about the sale of alcohol, which is different than running a tavern because taverns can also have rooms in them, which would also put them into being part of the Fellowship of Innkeepers.
Alright.
So I think you're more like part of the Fellowship of Innkeepers, and then you have your liquor license.
Yep.
Kind of deal.
Yep. Yep.
What was the other benefit besides cleaning rooms? It was
Insurance in case something bad happens.
Essentially. If somebody tried to steal you on a payment and skip town, we might be able to help you look into that.
So even if we didn't have rooms, you would definitely be the people we'd join a guild with. Correct?
It wouldn't hurt.
If we chose to join a guild.
There are many guilds to join. Depends on the business you see.
Are we limited to one guild? I think is the better question.
That's actually a very good one.
Many places require multiple guilds to have
Makes sense.
their
makes
businesses
sense.
make profit.
Yeah.
If I'd imagine that if you needed to, sell food or entertainment, there's 2 other guilds right there.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, I think we.
It also seems like, and you gestures, you very dire need of repairs.
Wait, do you help with that?
My guild alone does not.
We actually
That doesn't mean I don't have contacts.
we have things in the works for the roofers, carpenters, and plasterers guild.
I see.
To make contact with us, or rather a friend of ours. But I would have to discuss with everyone about renting any rooms. I think there's only one room that's really rentable at the moment, because everyone else is sleeping in the other ones. But it's certainly something that we need to talk about. So thank
Agreed.
you for coming and giving us this information.
Well, if you aren't going to be opening your rooms for rent, clearly you don't need to be a part of the Fellowship of Innkeepers, but that doesn't mean we don't have what we use.
I was going to say, does this insurance include sniffing of bar tabs?
If you're not going to be part of the Fellowship, then no.
But say we did join.
10 gold for a 10-day. Or 10 dragons. That's a dragon a day.
Yeah, that's part of running a business.
As it is, young lady. However, if you're not looking to be part of the Fellowship, for a small fee, we can provide you with some of our cleaning crews. He kind of looks around. You see him kind of like move to the back of the bar and kind of poke around in the back. I can have a crew here in less than a couple hours to help you clean this place up.
Yes.
I want to
And
go.
how
I'm
much
gonna.
would that cost?
Can they clean mold?
I will throw open the door as he walks behind the bar.
And you,
I'll give him the full experience.
So it's
Don't
your
hold
number
that.
2.
Well, no, I think I would have be following behind him, and I'll sort of scoot by him and throw.
yeah, I was gonna say, so as he probably gets here, Sabian just throws the door open and he just gets this waft from behind him.
Yeah.
Right?
And you see him almost buckle over, not quite to the point to where he takes a knee, but he just "Argh!"
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
He kind of turns around and looks at you, just and blows out a puff of smoke and puts his bite back and just slams the door closed. That's a bit above what I paid our cleaning crews for, but we've got people that can probably take care of that in other guilds.
Today, well, I think my friend mentioned that the carpenters, roofers, and plasterers guild would be able to take care of it.
Well, they're not going to be able to take care of that. Maybe somebody from the Settlers and Plumbers Guild.
Can you get them out here today?
I can put in word. I can't guarantee they'll be here today, but I can guarantee you, for a small fee, I can have a cleaning crew down here in the next hour or two.
How much does that cost?
I'd say 10 gold, 10 dragons.
Done.
Done.
And how much would it cost to get someone from the Sellers and Plumbers Guild here today?
Today would be quite a bit more. I'm not sure what the schedule is,
Try me. 50?
at least.
I put 50 gold on the bar.
Whoa, are we in not much of a rush, Sagan?
I would like to get this place open.
If we're gonna,
Turn a profit and pay back our debtors.
if we're gonna start turning a profit before we have to start paying
Debtors.
back people,
So you didn't come across this yourself.
we did.
We
Oh,
got a
no.
loan to open
Yeah, I was going to say.
From who?
it. A money lender.
Name?
I fail to see why it's any of your business.
Putting guild-approved work on a name that doesn't exist is not a thing.
Oh, if it's for paperwork, that's all you have to say. Istrid Horn. I think that's her name. I hear it
Yeah.
You see his eyes kind of shrink.
I do not react.
We got a recommendation. Or wait, did you already just say a name? And
He just said Istrid Horn.
awesome. fast enough. The charisma out of this.
Anyways, District Horn was recommended to us, and she seems like a perfectly capable.
Recommended by who?
I believe we heard her name through
Bolo
the...
himself.
No, I believe we heard her name through the extra...
Bolo himself recommended it.
I see. Well, if you can pay the fee up front, as I said, I will have a crew here in about an hour to 2.
I slide 10 gold over, and then slide 50 more gold over, and say, and he points to the trapdoor. That too, today.
Alright. I just better not find out you're up to any funny business.
Why would we be up to funny business?
Because not many adventurers buy a run-down building that hasn't been...
We haven't been on very many adventures,
And we didn't buy it.
except for this one.
It's true. This is
I've
also
never left the city.
And it shows.
It was given to them as a gift. By doing so.
Adventurers might not buy bars often, but when they're handed a bar.
More the concern.
I'm just
I guess as long as you stay up on your taxes and pay your fees, then
We intend
there
to.
isn't much to worry about.
I mean, we do have Bullet
Considering
name.
that you've only been here for a day or 2, we shall see how that goes.
What word
I
do you
think
like?
I will take this first payment.
That's fair.
That's not a agreement and contract. That is for the cleaning priest today and the
That it
plumbers.
is.
Alright.
But you have to open it somehow, as you said.
That's true. That's true.
Wait,
We
is
don't
there,
even know
is there
if
some
we're-
formal paperwork we need to sign?
At this point now,
I'm gonna be like, how do we know you're not just like a con man? And I'm gonna give him like a squinty eye look.
and you see him pull out a small piece of parchment, and you see him untie the little ribbon that wraps around it, and you see him just kind of like flick it out, and it rolls down, and it sits about that long, and you see unofficial like Fellowship of the Innkeepers Guild insignia across the top, and you see at the bottom another seal that's been like set there in wax, and you see 2 signatures underneath it that aren't his, but you see his name scrawled across the top.
As someone that is familiar with guilds in the city, can I check it? Perception check it or something?
Go for it.
It's gonna be a 13.
To you, you've seen a number of your mother's guild contracts be renewed, and they look familiar enough.
That's legit.
Well, alright then.
As someone who's proficient with forgery kits, can I tell if this is legit? Like
Yeah.
actually legit?
Make a perception check.
It's just in. Savian believes nothing Charmaine does or says.
I do this time with a roll 1. So.
Yep.
I mean, it looks legit to Savian, and he begrudgingly agrees with Sarmaya's conclusion. I marked off 10 and 50 gold for this.
As I said, even if you don't end up becoming members of the Fellowship, you can always use our cleaning services.
We look forward to working
And
with
I
you.
can't. All I can say is continue to use them. Will save you from further harassment in the future.
Believe me, we have every intent to keep this place on the up and up.
Good.
We're just law-abiding citizens.
And he kind of like swipes the gold off the counter and goes to stick it in his bag. On top of being a father of 9, that makes things just a bitty bit easier.
Weird flags, but okay. Just kidding. Father of 9, eh? Well,
Yes, they can be troublesome. I don't know if you all have kids, but especially halflings are quite squirrely.
I don't.
thankfully.
Yes, you should be thankful. I wish I never had.
Well,
That is not. I love them and I don't regret it, but doesn't mean life wouldn't be easier.
It's true.
But you just said you wish you hadn't. Isn't that a regret?
That's not what I said.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Fairkettle.
I wish I hadn't. That doesn't mean I regret it.
Okay.
Life works in mysterious ways, young lady.
He's not wrong.
Sometimes you don't want something and then it happens and you couldn't live your life without it.
But then now you're saying that you wish you hadn't, which I thought was like the definition of a regret. And
He just looks at Sabian. Please. Keep up.
Oh, do well.
And he,
Once again, it was a pleasure to meet you.
we will meet again.
I'm sure we will. I look forward to meeting the members of Plumbers and Sellers later this afternoon.
Hopefully. I can't guarantee who will come, but for your sake, I hope they do come soon.
Yes.
I agree.
And he kind of steps back and on one heel, in one fluid motion, kicks himself around and spins around and walks out the front door. And I think that's a good place for us to take our break.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet.
2 seconds.
All right, so we will be back in just a few minutes as we pick up after this break.